Hey, what's up, superhumans? BT here. A little bit of a different video. Start you off with some backstory. Just 3 years ago, I was actually pretty unhappy, depressed. I felt unfulfilled. I was working a job that I used to love, but then I grew to hate. I was broke. I was living like paycheck to paycheck. Flash forward to today. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. I go to work, loving what I do. I get to do something really cool every single day. I have a ton of opportunities. So what changed? Well, before I get into that, I want to ask you a question. What does LeBron James, Oprah, Denzel Washington, Tim Ferriss, Jeff Bezos, what do they all have in common? I'll tell you what they all have in common. They have a really powerful morning ritual. They decide in that first 60 minutes when they wake up what kind of day they are going to have. Back to what changed for me. I ended up quitting my job. I had zero money. I had no plan. That didn't fix everything. I don't want you to think that, oh, I quit my job and all of a sudden I was happy. No, that actually created a lot more problems. I was far more uncertain as to whether or not I could make it. I didn't have much confidence, and because of the uncertainty, I had a lot of fear and doubt, and I got scared and super stressed out. What helped me is what helped them. A morning ritual. The very first move that I made was to become more organized. I have ADHD-I, which is actually attention deficit hyperactivity disorder with inattentiveness. I needed to be super productive if I was going to make it. How did I get organized? How did I become more productive? Honestly, the key was this. This is a daily planner. So the first thing I would recommend is getting one of these and using them every day. Okay, so here was the big thing. I needed a list. I have a to-do list, check marks. I got to check everything off. The problem is I would have a checklist of like 35 things to do. And if I didn't get all 35 things done, I would freak out. For me, what worked really well for me was the top 3 things that I had to get done, and if I did those things, I felt like today was a win. The second thing that I did that radically changed my life, I heard from Tony Robbins. Every day, I want you to write out 3 ideas that will make you more successful. I was able to come up with different programs and etc. First thing, you need a daily planner. Number 2, write down 3 ideas that you think will make you more successful for 30 straight days. The third thing that made me more successful, brought me more happiness, made me more productive, is a journal. I'm not religious. I would say I'm more spiritual. Address it to God, the universe. So I guess that's kind of like a part of the third thing is you gotta, I really think you gotta believe in like a higher power other than yourself. I'm not saying it has to be like a religious thing, but a spiritual thing definitely helped me out. I've never shared this with anybody. I'm gonna share with you just a little bit. Dear universe, that's how I addressed it. It's so awesome, something amazing is going to happen to me today. For that first year, I learned that from, I can't remember. I think she wrote E squared. That was just kind of like something I would start my journal off with, and then I would write down just kind of like how I felt. This helped me just kind of manage my emotions. I would definitely say number 3, get a journal. Massively helpful. The fourth thing, this is the one singular thing that has taken me from being a negative, fatalistic jackass for my entire life, and literally within 30 days flip that on its head. And that one thing is gratitude. Having gratitude for everything has completely changed my life. I'm actually starting to get a little emotional on this. Along with that Tony Robbins 30-day challenge of becoming more successful, he actually challenged me to write, not me, I just saw this in a video, to write 3 things that they were grateful for every single day. Okay, so here's one. Like, they could be really in depth, but they didn't have to. I just put like a really good night's sleep. Like, how great is it that most of us watching this probably find ourselves in a bed, safe, right? And warm? That's huge. There are plenty of other people out there sleeping on dirt, sleeping on the concrete, sleeping on a park bench, and all they have is newspaper to insulate themselves. I mean, really, we have it pretty good. Third thing I was grateful for was hope. Like, just having hope that things could be even better tomorrow than they were today. Really, to put in perspective, just to say, hey, universe, God, whatever, thank you for hands that I have so I could write down, grasp a pen, have that feeling of touch, and write down thank you for these awesome little things that not everybody has. Fourth thing before I start crying on camera, which is really freaking weird, is gratitude. The final thing is discipline and action. I've said this before, discipline takes over when motivation fails. I have a friend, Mike Nelson. Mike, I hope you watch this. Mike is just this Adonis. He is ripped all the time. Shit, Mike got cancer. He got non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I remember the first time I saw him was a charity tournament we kind of did on his behalf, and he was more ripped after chemo than before. How did this happen? Whenever I tried to explain Mike to people, every time I used the word genetics, I was like, oh, Mike is just a genetic freak. Then I started training athletes at Olympus High School, and we would get there at 5 a.m., 6 p.m., whenever. Whenever I got there, no lie, Mike Nelson was running stairs and doing lunges around that entire track. Mike was insanely dedicated to his health. So the fifth and final thing that you have to have if you really want to change your life, be happier, more productive, and more successful, is action. Action and discipline. I hope you enjoyed this. I know this is kind of a different kind of video than I made. I apologize for looking kind of rugged. Comic-Con's coming up in just a couple of days, and I have to be prepared to go as Wolverine. I definitely want to dress up and look awesome. Thank you for watching. Listen, if you ever want to chat, hit me up. I'm more than happy to answer your questions or to get you started with the planners and blah, 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 blah. Maybe I'll throw up some links. But thanks for watching. Peace. I'm BT. I'll catch you later.